In our news bulletin for this evening, Niue Police pledge for public cooperation following the tampering of tsunami equipment in Hikutavake. The whale watching season generates visitor interest, but locals are concerned over the level of interaction. Tuapa takes out this year's NIU 7th Rugby Championship with the third round of games over the weekend. Uhumotu's pre-show fishing competition reels in some impressive catches off the reef and open water. Tampering of equipment set up as part of disaster preparedness has raised some concerns with the Niue Police Department. The tsunami sirens were installed at the end of July, and awareness-raising campaigns were developed to inform people about the equipment. These recent developments have prompted the police department to appeal to the community on the island for information and to take ownership of the newly installed equipment.
We have received, information that, some of these tsunami sirens have been tampered with, where, my view is that, people have been forewarned that, these equipments is for the use of, us here in Niue. And I ask that people look after it, and I ask that people be mindful that they are very expensive. But I guess it's fallen through deaf ears that, some people have to go and, tamper with some of the equipment. And, and it's a concern to us as, as a police department. It's a concern to Niue as a whole. But, I'm going to ask again that, we need to be mindful that we need to look after these equipments because they're very expensive. Inquiries have started. They've been carried out at this present time. Our police officers are out there, and and myself as well. I've been out there as well to talk to a few people about the tampering of the sirens. We'll continue to carry out the investigation until we've got the full report, and then hopefully we'll be able to find out who has or who is responsible for tampering with our siren boxes out there. But then again, why do we have to do this? And yet we've put the ownership on to each community to look out for these equipment because they are very expensive, as I've said. But we'll continue to find out. So hopefully in the near future we'll be able to have a full report on the damages that have taken place.
It is unclear why someone would attempt to interfere with these sirens, but Niue Police encourage anyone who may have grievances regarding the location of these sirens to contact them and not tamper with the sirens, as they are quite expensive and vital for the safety of the community. Inquiries and investigations into this matter are ongoing, but the onus is on the people to see the value of this equipment. Whale watching has proven to be a popular tourist attraction to the island, and Niue is one of only a few countries in the world that allows people to swim and interact with whales. However, this is under strict guidelines that have been developed as a joint effort by local non-government organisation Aomatawhua, as well as Whales Alive, the Niue Fisheries Division, Niue Tourism and the Niue Yacht Club. Lately, there have been locals who have been monitoring and observing the interactions throughout the season, who have raised some issues regarding the types of interactions, practices and actions of some visitors, especially yachties. Some concerns have been lodged with the Fisheries Division, who have the authority to use regulations and penalties for any infringements. Fisheries have noted that they are getting good coverage with locals who have been reporting incidents and continuing to monitor the situation to ensure the safety of this protected species and the people who interact with them.
First and foremost, whales are protected by law here, so you're not permitted to harass them. We have regulations in the pipeline that go further into detail around that and set guidelines, which is the applied policy at the moment. We try to regulate the activities through the licensing of operators. So people are allowed to go and experience the whales in the water. It's one of the few places in the world that you can still do that. Not only the department, but also Aomatawhua and Whales Alive and even the Yacht Club. We've all been working together to try and make sure that as much information gets out there to people, and people can come here and enjoy it. We worked hard with Whales Alive to get them to agree that we could continue to allow people to swim with the whales here, provided it was under strict guidelines and training was applied to operators. So that's our effort to maintain that, so that Niue, we don't have beaches, we don't have lagoons, so one of the attractions of coming here is that if we have a well-regulated whale watching activity, then people will be able to come to Niue as one of the few places in the world that you can actually dive and or swim with the whales and dolphins here.
Mr. Pasisi says that visitors need to be mindful that the only people who are allowed to go out and take people to interact with whales are those that are certified and registered operators, and that there are laws that apply to all.
The law applies to everybody, including the operators. The operators are under, strict guidelines themselves. If they don't follow those guidelines, then the government, retains the ability to revoke their operating license. So, they're very well aware of that, and we have a good working relationship with the operators that are out there at the moment. So what we can do is encourage visitors to the island, not to spoil it for other people, and, enjoy what is a limited activity in the world, being able to do it here in pristine, crystal clear water. We've designed it in a way that you can safely experience that for both the visitor as well as the whales.
Niue Tourism says that they have circulated information about the whale watching regulations that have been posted up on the information board at the wharf and outside of their office. Their team have been briefed on how to communicate this information to visitors and yachties alike, as well as ensuring that operators are aware of them when taking people out on tours. According to Amatafua representatives, they're working closely to ensure that the legal frameworks are in place to enable authorities to enforce the regulations and guidelines. An industry meeting has also been organized for key stakeholders to ensure that all operators are observing the processes and working within the guidelines. Last Saturday at Paliasi at the Niue High School Sports Ground, the third and final round of the Niue Rugby Sevens was played between the four teams that entered the competition this year. They were Tuapa, the Marlins, Alofi and Hakupu. The player of the tournament went to Bonifacio Kapanga from the Tuapa team. The overall score saw Tuapa take out the championship with 3 wins out of 3 rounds, giving them 39 points. Marlins came close in second with 35 points, Alofi in third with 26 points, and Hakupu in fourth with 19 points. The Niue Rugby Union was delighted with the outcome of the tournament. They have now selected 6 players to represent Niue at the next Oceania Sevens. The 6 players selected are Rudolf Ainuu, Bonifacio Kapanga from Tuapa, Talavotu Puiliu and Hugget Tongatole from Hakupu, Reed Jackson and Piu Pritaki from Alofi. They will join 6 other players from New Zealand, and the Niue Rugby Union has also appointed Norman Misimesi to travel with the team as the team manager and appointed Ricky Tangilangi as the head coach. The 6 players from New Zealand are yet to be named. Niue will need to qualify from the Oceania Sevens to join other top countries competing in the World Sevens. If successful, we will see Niue again playing other top nations in the world, as they will be automatically invited to play in Wellington, Hong Kong and Australia, among some of the top venues in World Sevens. Niue Rugby Union also informed that they will decide after the Wednesday meeting this week if the 15s rugby and women's rugby will be played this year. It was an eventful day as people gathered to Tuapa Uhumotu on Saturday to take their skills out on the reef and water as part of the village pre-show day activities. Over 30 canoe fishermen registered and entered the competition, aiming to catch the big one in the pelagic and bottom fish categories. For the pelagic category, the heaviest fish caught by Fale Misileki was a tuna weighing in at 29.4 kilos. Second placing went to Muyaki Makani with 20.6 kilos, and third placing to Poitongia Kapanga with a fish weighing in at 12.7 kilos. Toala Heka caught another pelagic species, a mahi-mahi, weighing in at 6.1 kilos. The total pelagic fish caught on the day were 10 tunas and 1 mahi-mahi. In the bottom fish category, William Pasisi had a total catch of 8.8 kilos. Toki Talangi coming in second with 8 kilos and Chamberlain Pita with 6 kilos. The heaviest single fish or bottom fish was caught by William Pasisi, weighing at 4.7 kilos. In addition, there were also men, women and children out on the reef fishing and collecting seafood. The heaviest catch went to Conrad Lakatani, second Andrew Misileki, and third Nutaha Tahanga. The highest number of fish species caught went to Salamarina Ikitule. The heaviest single fish that was caught out on the reef was caught by Conrad Lakatani, and the village community and village council of Tuapa Uhomotu are very thankful to all the participants and sponsors for attending their fishing competition, and no doubt there will be some interesting fishing stories to tell. A rather successful day leading up to the annual village show day that's on this coming Saturday. Those are our news stories that we have for you this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.